Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how I get this easy, natural, looks like skin look. Here we go. Okay, so first things first, I'm going in with the Cover FX Water Cloud Primer. It's nice and light. It's got a nice little grip to it, so everything sticks. And then I'm going in with the Tarte Timeless Pore Filling Primer. I just warm it up a little bit between my fingers and just place it kind of wherever my pores are a little bigger than I like them to be. And then I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood Filter for celebrity skin. This stuff's my favorite. It's a cult favorite. I just put it on all over. It's nice and light. Adds a nice little glow to it for underneath my base. Perfect. Just pat it all in nicely. And then I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Macchiato because we build the house before we paint it. So I'm just trying to kind of sculpt everything, add a little bit of contour bronze to it before I go in with my base. I'm just applying it with the e.l.f. This is like the airbrush. It's an airbrush brush. I got it at Winners. It was like $6. It's my favorite brush for this purpose. It just really blends everything in. It's not too compact, not too floppy. It's perfect. Then I'm going in with the McGrath Concealer. This is a new favorite of mine. I just purchased it not that long ago. It's expensive, but it's really good. I don't know, I really like it. So I just place it kind of on key areas of my face. I let it dry a little bit to get a little bit of extra coverage out of it so it doesn't tend to crease so fast. Just blending that in with my beauty blender. I usually just put it on my chin, on my jawline, a little bit on my nose, forehead, and under eyes. Kind of everywhere where I didn't put that cream contour already. So that's how I kind of know how to place my concealer and why I do my bronzer first. I always do the under eye last so it has time to dry a little bit and then it sticks a little bit more, less likely to crease, transfer, and you get a little bit more coverage out of it, I find. Just kind of blend it in with my beauty blender. You can use your fingers for this as well. I just had a beauty blender on deck. Then going in and touching up my bronzer, just to make sure everything's pretty seamless because we like to work in layers. It's my kind of favorite way to do things. It gets the job done a little bit nicer. Just kind of touching up everything. I really kind of work it into my hairline because I'm blonde and I'm wearing my hair up. Then I'm going in with the eye primer. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's kind of in the middle of the road. If you're a pale girl, it's really nice because it blends right in with your skin tone. But for anybody with a darker skin tone, I think it might make you look a little bit ashy and washed out unless you're using like super vibrant eyeshadows. Then going with my eyebrows, that is the Kat Von D Browstruck powder, I believe. Take a pause to appreciate your boyfriend trying to stay out of the frame, but he doesn't quite make it. Army crawling across the floor. So I'm just filling my eyebrows. I was kind of going with the bottom middle first, create my shape, and then I almost kind of flick it up a little bit to blend it in. And make it not so harsh. You want them to be natural looking brows. And then you'll see me brush down the tops to expose those little hairs a little bit so I can shape them up and fill them in without them looking crazy dark. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. We always have one naughty eyebrow, so I always start on that one first, just to kind of get it out of the way. So then if it does turn out a little bit wonky, I can kind of match it on the other side and make them look cohesive. Going in, doing the same thing on my other brow, same process. Normally I would set with clear brow gel, but I don't have any. So now I'm going in with the Viseart. I forget which eyeshadow palette that is. I'll put it in the description below. Starting out with that kind of camel, neutral, light brown shade kind of all over my lid with a Smith fluffy eyeshadow brush just to kind of really blow it out, diffuse it, make it look really blended, and that's kind of going to be the base for the eyeshadow. Again, matching it on the other eye, making sure it's nice and blended. It's like my favorite shade. This is a very expensive eyeshadow palette. You don't need it. Then taking a smaller brush in the more red terracotta shade, kind of blending it into my outer corner, up into my crease a little bit, just to give a little bit more definition. I love these shades. These shadows are really nice. They're very expensive. A cheaper alternative would be the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. It's about, I don't know, half the price. This Viseart one, it's really nice, but totally unnecessary. Then taking a fluffy brush and kind of going into that shade that's in between the first two shades that I used. It's kind of a more muted red-brown rather than the brick red or the camel color. Just blending that into my crease just to kind of make it all look more cohesive. Going across my lid a little bit. Then I'm taking this little teeny tiner brush from, I think it's a Dose of Colors one that I got in a palette. It's my favorite brush for my under eyes. Taking the first shade that I put on my lid, concentrating it under my eye, doing the same on the other side. And then I'm going to go in with that same kind of brick red terracotta shade to blow it out and bring it pretty far down. I've got pretty long under eyes, so I can get away with a little bit more of a blown out look, but if you want to be more conservative with it, again, pause for boyfriend coming back. If you want to make it a little bit more conservative, then go right ahead, do what suits you. This is a pretty basic eyeshadow shape. Taking that kind of a last kind of plummy brown and sticking it right along that outer corner along my lash line, blending it up just a tiny bit to add a little bit more depth, make it a little bit more smoky, but still super wearable for daytime. I love these colors. They're pretty flattering on all skin tones, especially us pale girls with blue eyes. They really make them stand out and pop. And just really kind of going over things, making sure they're nice and blended and that there's no harsh lines, that the shape's good. And I'm going to take, this is a Laura Gellar Baked Gelato highlighter in, I think it's the Peach Glow shade. It's my favorite. And just sticking that on the inner part of my lids just to give a little bit of a shiny pop. You can leave this blank or just put a matte cream shade on there. But today I felt like going a little bit more shiny. So this is the NARS Liquid Blush in Torrid. What I like to do is I'll pump a little bit out on my hand, really blend it in, warm it up, and then take my middle finger and tap it into my cheek. I find that's the easiest way to get a nice natural look with a liquid blush. This stuff can be quite messy and it's pretty pigmented, so a little goes a long way. I use barely a pump for that. And then I'm going in with my Tarte Park Ave Princess contour palette. I got this for Christmas from my parents. Going in with the shade Princess Cut and just kind of setting the bronzer and everything on my cheeks. Getting a little bit extra pigment. I don't always do this, but if I'm not wearing a mask or I'm not working, then I do, because I find the more layers on my face, it's not as good for longevity or if I'm talking a lot. And now I don't always highlight with powder, but today I felt like it. This is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I think it was limited edition from a couple years back. It's one of my favorites. Nice and shiny without being glittery and blends into the skin pretty easy. And then I'm taking my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in I think this is, I can't remember which one that is. I take it on a really fluffy, angled, loose brush and put it almost up to my under eyes. Now this is something I tried Don't love how it turned out. I just took one of the highlighting powders from that Tarte palette and put it on kind of the high points of my face. I don't normally use powders to set my face, so I didn't love the way that turned out, but I did it anyways. Now this is the Hourglass Lash Extensions Unlocked Mascara, I do believe. This is one of my favorites. It's a tubing mascara, but it provides quite a bit of volume. It doesn't smudge or smear or flake off anywhere. It stays on all day. This has been my favorite. It's absolutely phenomenal. Would recommend it to anybody. I think it's more suited for people with longer lashes already. But I'll have to ask my mom. She's got short lashes. Give it to her. Now it's time for lips. This is a Catrice lip liner in the shade Natural. I have two of them. One of them was sharpened, one of them wasn't. So I had to dig around, find the sharpened one. Just doing a light line around my lips, trying to make them a little bit more plump. And I don't do anything crazy with the lip line. I've got pretty plump lips already. Just doing the top and bottom. Just prepping my lips for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk lipstick, which is one of my favorites. It's a matte, but it's not overly matte. It's the perfect color for most people along like fair to medium skin tones. And then I'm just going in with the Hard Candy Plumping Lip Gloss. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.